Hello friends, this is Neeraj here, and in this particular model we are going to cover that marine HVAC and why it is so special. Yes, in this particular topic I am going to throw some light on why when I talk about the marine HVAC, then why it is so special. So first aspect I'm going to talk about the health and safety. Yes, you have heard it right. Health and safety is very primary important factor for marine HVAC sector. When you go for any interview and if somebody is asking you that tell me why it is so special, you should know all these points, or at least you need to give one answer that first is safety is necessary, or safety comes, or safety ranking of the safety goes the highest when we talk about the marine HVAC system. And you will ask me, why, sir? Why you are rating the safety first instead of no? A person should need a comfortable environment. Person should need a humidity in control. Person should need air draft in control. So why you are not ranking these things first? And instead of things, why you are ranking these things secondary? And why safety is so important? The answer lies within the question itself. Marine. Yes, when I say marine, you are in the middle of the sea or middle of the river or middle of the place where you are surrounded by the water. It is not the land. If something happens, you can easily go out of the building and keep yourself safe. It is between the sea. And again it's so safety plays a very important role over here. So temperature, humidity, air draft, airflow, everything comes to secondary, and first thing is been safety. That's why I said health and safety. So safety plays very important role. That's why I said the safety is very important as as the first factor for marine safety as compared to the other, say industrial, residential sector or the commercial sector where it is built over the piece of land. So whatever happens, that your chances of survival are much higher as compared to the marine HVAC. So that's the reason the safety takes up first priority. Plus, again, the place where we have to work, say, suppose you are working on oil and gas platforms. So there are various hazardous gases being produced. So when you produce hazardous gases, again you need to keep yourself safe from the gases. So again for that also the safety plays very important role in HVAC. So this is what the safety, what I mean. When I say health, it is again to keep yourself safe from your health safe from the hazardous areas, not to have an impact on your health on hazardous area, hazardous gases. On the top of that, just to maintain the comfortable temperature within the accommodation and comfortable relative humidity conditions and airflows has to be proper in order to keep the person very healthy. And the top of that, he should feel comfortable, because only thing or only time where the person comes to accommodation is to take the rest after he completes his duty for almost 12 hours. So when the person completes the duty and when he comes back to the accommodation, he should feel very comfortable. So again, it's a duty of HVAC engineer that whenever he's planning the things, planning the ducting, planning the design, he should ensure that a person who is inside should get a proper sleep within. He should be feeling good, energetic, and there is no sound buzzing or coming out of the diffusers. So this is what I mean about the health and safety. Now let's go to the next point, that is the operation and maintenance. When I say about the operation and maintenance, uh, in marine HVAC, we need to make a system which is very simple as compared to the other building sector. Why I'm telling you that why it should be simple. When I say it's simple, it's not what I mean that do some ducting and no, it's not like that. When I say about the system should be less, it should be less complex, because more the complex system is, if something malfunction happens, you need to maintain more number of parts. The maintaining more number of parts is again more number of spares. And as you know that weight limitations of every ship has a weight bearing limitation. Again airport also, we have experienced on the aeroplane also, they limit your luggage. of 30 kg up to 30 or 40 kg. So for the same reason. So even small weights also a matter when designing a ship. So again, the spare parts need to be kept limited. So lesser the complex system is, lesser the maintenance you need to do, and you need to perform and focus on the other aspects very carefully. So that's the purpose of operation and maintenance. Again, we are going to dive deep when I'm going to cover this session, or this is a separate topic. I'm going to cover on operation maintenance. As I told you, this field is a huge ocean. You have a lot to learn. So I'm covering only basics over here. So when I say operation maintenance is what I mean is nothing but uh, maintaining the system or operating the system has to be as less complex as possible. It should be as simple as possible. Then the third point goes about the codes and standards. Okay, codes and standards. When I talk about, there are various codes and standards. I will touch the base in the upcoming slide. So just focus. So without, I will not waste much my time on that. Logistics cost is the fourth point. When I say logistic cost, it means that is the cost which is required. If something fails, you need to bring that particular, you need to fill a requisition, and you need to bring that particular spare part or whatever part you need while you have a malfunction through the ship or some or for through the other ships or through the plane or helicopter, whatever. So this is what I mean by the logistics cost. So again, it is going to be very expensive one if you don't plan your space properly. Just imagine you are in the middle of the ship, part of particular equipment fails, and you have not kept any spare, or you forgot to order the spare, or you have designed the system so complex that you give a criticality rating for that particular spare as 3 or 4. So but it is important. So what happens here is that it is not simply you go out and buy and bring. It's not that easy. You're middle of the sea. Imagine how you're going to so easily out of the ship. You are going to swim, right? You're not going to jump from the sea, jump from the ship, and you're not going to swim. There has to be a system to be followed. First, you need to fill a requisition, it goes to the port, and they arrange it. So it's a hell lot of expenses because a lot of people, lot of systems get involved. So the spare part, which may cost you a $10 to $15, when it reaches you, it becomes $200 to $300. So again, it's a cost to company. It may be more than that also. This is just my imagine, just my wild thumb rule. So when you again design the system, you need to maintain. When you think of maintain the system, you need to think of the long-term basis of your maintain the spares also. I hope you got what I'm trying to say, and we are going to touch the base also in detailed course also, that how to think smart and how to save the money. Fourth is fifth is skilled and certified labor. When you work in the industry, again the skill plays very important role, and this skills doesn't come simply by just by learning few things. You need to have basic very strong knowledge, and that comes only through a proper taking guidance from the proper people who are in the industry. Google is not everything. You need a mentor, because mentor knows what it is. He only holds your hand and take you to the end. That is what we are sitting here to guide you properly and how to do it. So skilled and certified manpower, and what kind of certification you need to take, and what skills you need to acquire to enter into this industry, and what skills are expected, and what kind of work you are expected to do in this field. We are going to check this in the subsequent slides. So the next point is the construction features of HVAC equipment. As I've already covered in the previous slide, it works into the marine saline environment, and a salty atmosphere is there, a lot of humidity is around. So again, the material selection plays very important role here. So that also I'm going to cover in next slide. So be focused on that. Space constraint. Uh, yes, space constraint is the biggest hurdle in this industry. So how smartly you manage the space plays very important role here. You will get a very limited amount of space, In that you need to plan your equipment properly, take out the ducting, take out the piping, take out the drain, plan your building services, potable water, everything you need to plan very, very carefully. And it, of course, when you plan, you need to be very, very confident on your data. So space constraint is the biggest thing you need to fight for with the architectural or piping department, because they are the plot plan is in their scope. So this is very, very interesting going to be. And again, when I say space constraint, your duct sizes goes to upside down. You need to make a smaller duct. Smaller duct means more static pressure. More static pressure means everything changes. So you need to think in that particular angle also. The next point is engineering documentation. This is very, very important topic, engineering documentation, because whatever engineering you do, you need to document each and everything. Every value needs to have a substantiation from where you have taken. You cannot, in this particular sector, you cannot simply take the value from air. Okay, just because you thought, or thumb rule. There's no rule of thumb rule in this particular field. You need to be very, very careful. You need to document. The reason for documentation is very, very simple. If something happens to ship, or ship fails, or something oil and gas platforms happens, that's why the documentation plays very, very important role over here, because it keeps your company safe. Because if every aspect is being documented, then insurance companies doesn't take any objection, because you have taken the values correctly, you have designed the system. So something happens to ship or oil and gas offshore platform, insurance department cannot pinpoint that certain things are not done. That's why your ship has failed or offshore platform has failed, because you have already given the basis of everything, basis of standards, which value from which table, which page number you have taken, and how your system design is happened, basis of design what you have taken. So you keep yourself safe. The next aspect is the insurance aspect, which I already covered, that when you do the documentation, insurance doesn't take any issues normally. So from your side, you become safe over here. This is what and why the marine HVAC is so special. Of course, this is the basis and very, very basic. And in the next subsequent chapters or next subsequent modules, you will dive very, very deep into this particular course. And believe me, this experience is going to be wonderful, because again, I'm repeating, you will not get anywhere and anywhere in this industry or in this internet. Nowhere you will get that much kind of deep knowledge I'm going to share with you. So just stay focused, because this, when I'm teaching you, very, very interesting thing that, it is a revision for me also. So it is helping me also in a way to refresh my basics or refresh my things. So it gives me altogether a different perspective. So in the next slide, let's see what's new for you to learn about.